Hello, my name's Aaron Stuart. I'm co-chair of ACEG along with Gwen Martin and Rachel Schmel. I think when you look at the history of Port Augusta, and this is no fault on anyone who lives in Port Augusta, how it was set up back in the early days, back before our generation, probably, going back far as the 1930s, the 40s, where, it was a meeting place for all, the stock routes, pastoralists, people in business and industry, and also Aboriginal people who always came to Port Augusta because of its cultural reasons, fitting in with the local cultural group, doing ceremony, even before our time, before colonisation. So in itself, being here in Port Augusta, I believe we've come a long way. If you look at our history, where obviously government policy affected Aboriginal people, and even today it affects Port Augusta City Council, where if you look at Devonport, the issues out there, where it was reserve and where you had to have a permit to get out there, and the federal government actually managed that, and then where that changed and it went to a mission, and got the Amora mission, and from there it was always controlled by non-Aboriginal people, and that's what it's all about. And then obviously as Aboriginal people developed over the years in our country, we start living in town. Probably there was more Aboriginal people living out Devonport than in town in those days. And then there comes a question of, how our country changes with policy, and then how our city council changes along the way. And that could mean their thoughts about Aboriginal people, and also that's reciprocated back on Aboriginal people, their thoughts about non-Aboriginal people. And so it's about coming together now and looking at those issues which we do live with today. No one wants responsibility of Devonport community. The federal government, made this reserve or this community. Aboriginal people still live there. I still go out there. We've got family out there, and they require the services here in Port Augusta. And not only that, there's a large Aboriginal population, even larger than that at Devonport, that lives in Port Augusta. So from then to now, it's been, I suppose, a non-equilibrium, if you will, where it was this, now it's that. And that's where I think Port Augusta's taken a step towards, you can say reconciliation, but you need more than reconciliation in a town like this. You need actually management of how you do business, how you roll out services to all people, and how you include the, say, oppressed or those that have been left out in the dark lands, more or less. To be quite honest, I believe in the last 5 to 6 years it's happened. There was a dialogue meeting back in Tassie Street a few years back when our late mayor was alive. She was there, plus the Aboriginal community, and plus obviously the other two tiers of government, where issues were fought about, where things were getting out of hand in the community, such with crime and other stuff, like how we treat one another, how services may pick up the phone and discriminate who you are because you're Aboriginal, and then the service becomes less non-compliant, it becomes non-directive, you become wait on the end of the line, more or less. And I also think the relationship between the Aboriginal community and Port Augusta City Council wasn't so crash hot for those particular reasons of the past. In Australia, since colonisation, we live in a place where our country has been evolutionised. From there, you've got different policies: stolen generation policy, the black and white policy. They affect communities, believe it or not. They affect local councils. So as we evolve as a nation, as all Australians, these policies that govern, that oppress a certain amount of people, become part of the mainstream. But the mainstream then become the oppressor. So then Aboriginal people see all non-Aboriginal people as the oppressor. And unfortunately, in our nation today, we're going forward and we're moving away from that. But such policies made in Canberra or around the state can affect us at the local level, including Port Augusta City Council. ACEC was set up out of the dialogue, from my understanding. The Mayor did go to Adelaide with a few others. I went and had a meeting with her about some of the issues, and from that came the dialogue. And also from that came ACEC. Tiers of government will say it was their initiative, and everyone will take the credit for it. But really, ACEC came about how to do more service delivery and how to look at working with the 3 tiers of government. So that's the Port Augusta City Council, the state government, and the federal government. So with Port Augusta now, you've got a large Aboriginal population here in Port Augusta. You've got a population out at Devonport, and with Aboriginal people comes federal funding. So NGOs, including the one I work for, and other NGOs and other government agencies or any agencies, they'll put in for this money, and they will put in for these monies to deliver services to the Aboriginal people. But the problem is everyone's coming in. It's like a free for all. It's like mines hit far up north, and everyone's on a gold rush up there, but the Aboriginal people are not getting the outcomes from these NGOs or these government agencies. So ACEC was set up to say, so let's look at this. Let's try and make things work a bit better. Let's see who's delivering what services and are they really working, and can we make that better? So how do we do that as ACEC? Part of the strategy was to put in what they call building blocks. So one could be healthy homes, and under healthy homes will come mental health, suicide prevention, and other social issues. Then there can be education, and there could be early childhood. So they give these building blocks a title, they put all the other social issues or issues that need attention under them. So what we did then was create working shops in the community where we invited all service providers to come and to ask what they are doing. And we did several workshops in the community. We've had several meetings in the community also. But the workshops involved them come to, yes, we're doing this, we're doing that. So we looked at everything they did, we put it up, and we said, okay, this needs that, can you do more? So basically it's an agreement where their funding body or their CEOs, the chief executive group, whoever's managed them, can say, let's deliver the service a lot better. So we're trying to manage that, but we're also trying to see how much money is coming into Port Augusta for our community, for the Aboriginal community, because when the Aboriginal people get service delivery money, we should be benefiting from that, meaning we should be living healthier, we should be living longer, our education standards should be a lot higher. So it's about managing that with the ACEC, which we call the Action Plan Agreement, which was signed off a few months back. And from that, governments, and I've dealt with governments, they changed the rules a bit, in which the state government then changed, which, to be honest, when said they went from service delivery, now they're doing policy for Aboriginal people. And that's Department of Premier and Cabinet Art. And that's where we signed a document with the minister, and 3 days later they changed the goalpost, and when they went from delivering service to doing policy. So this is what I mean. This has happened all through the years. Each policy they've brought in, even from colonisation, it's at an expiry date. It's like a car registration, it runs out. And that's why Aboriginal people never ever get forward. I really look forward to working with Port Augusta City Council. I'm one of those individuals that don't like the softly approach where if you beat around the bush, send about 3 or 4, nice letters off, asking or requesting something, nothing doesn't happen. I'm not like that. I like action, and I think working with Port Augusta City Council, if the business is the same as our previous mayor, where we more or less stand up for ourselves in Australia, and for those that try and govern us in a different way where we're treated different because of our location or because we've got a large population of this group or this ethnic group, whatever, I think we should all stand together, and I look forward to working with our City Council in doing that and supporting them also, because it's our community, it's all of us, we all got to live here. And the positive aspects there is where we can only move forward if we do it together. There's been, when you ask the question about, what was the time span, was it the last 10 years? and I said about 6 to 5 years, that's when I really think things really move forward. And you do get a generation of people that are sick of the same old boring, you know, you're racist, you're rah rah rah, playing that card. And that's on both sides. If you're intelligent enough, you can go forward past that and you can do what needs to be done. Then you see the end product as it goes by. We see the next generation become lawyers and doctors, even counsellors, even Mayor Port Augusta.